Who should stay and who should go? Who needs a loan and who just needs to get gone? Today I'm going to be breaking down my Chelsea 25-26 squad list in a tier list and giving you my honest opinions on all the players. And if you like honest Chelsea content and honest Chelsea debate, then please make sure you smash that subscribe button, you leave a like on this video, and you comment your opinion on my tier list. We are only 7 subscribers away from that magical 1,000. So let's make it happen, guys, and let's get on with the video. So let's begin by talking about our goalkeepers. We have 4 goalkeepers in our squad. We have Robert Sanchez, Philippe Jorgensen, Gaga Salina and Teddy Sharman-Lowe. So what do we do with all these goalkeepers? Let's talk about them individually. Starting with Robert Sanchez. Robert Sanchez is our #1 goalkeeper at the moment at the club. And yes, he won us the Club World Cup with some fantastic saves and fantastic moments in that final. His distribution there was brilliant. And his season's been alright. He's actually had, not a bad season. He's a good shot stopper, but his distribution is poor. And the way he commands his box is poor. So therefore, I think he needs to go into the squad player category. But only one big if. If it doesn't happen, he needs to go into the get gone category. But if he stays as a squad player, there needs to be a goalkeeper, a #1 goalkeeper that comes in for Chelsea next season to be the #1, to be the man to lead the team. And if not, then Sanchez needs to get gone and we need to bring someone else in to do the job. So that is Robert Sanchez, in my opinion, as a squad player. And if we get a goalkeeper, then he can be that backup. But if not, he needs to get gone. Okay, let's talk about our second goalkeeper, Philippe Jorgensen, who we signed from Villarreal. Let's be honest. His mistakes have cost us game after game after game after game. Result after result after result. Point after point after point. And it showed last night in the Champions League against Paris Saint-Germain, where we lost 5-2, that his mistakes will cost us games in the long run. And it'll cost us even more in the long run. So I'm going to be completely honest with you about Philippe Jorgensen. He needs to go straight in to the get gone category. And so therefore, that is the first 2 goalkeepers out of the way. And now let's get into our third and fourth goalkeeper, Gabriel Slonina. Gabriel Slonina was brought in as an American goalkeeper known as the future of the goalkeeping division at Chelsea Football Club. But has he ever played? I've never seen him play. I've not seen him involved in the squad. I've seen him go out on loans to Barnsley and clubs like that. But he's never played for Chelsea. He's never lived up to the hype because he's never been able to be given that opportunity. So, in my opinion, Gaga Salina needs to go in the get gone category, and therefore I think he is null and void at this football club. And now let's move on to our final goalkeeper, Teddy Sharman-Lowe. Now, Teddy Sharman-Lowe has been on the bench a few times this season, and we've never seen him play in the first team. We've seen him play in some pre-season games and in the under-21 squad and whatever. He's been out on loan. This guy needs minutes if he's ever going to make it at Chelsea, but I don't think he ever will. But in my opinion, I do think it would be a good idea to get him a loan, to get him some game time, so maybe eventually we can cash in on him. So he goes into the need a loan category. And guys, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think about my tier list so far, and let me know what you think about the goalkeeper situation at Chelsea. And we are 7 subscribers away from 1,000 on here, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and you leave a like on this video to let me know you are enjoying it. Now let's move on to the defensive positions, the centre backs, the full backs. Let's take a look at these individually, starting with our first centre back, Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill has been out all season with an ACL injury. He needs to be able to regain his fitness. He's now back in training. He needs to be able to regain that fitness to get back into the squad. And in personally, I think he would be Liam Rosenior's first choice left-sided centre-back. And I do think he could create a really good partnership like he did last season with Wesley Fofana, who we're going to get onto in a minute. So Levi Colwill goes into the build around category for me. Now moving into our second centre-back, Wesley Fofana, the French centre-back who we bought from Leicester for a fee of £70 million. A quality centre-back at his best, but injuries have hampered his growth and development at Chelsea Football Club, and so therefore we have to take this into account. He could be a great partner for Levi Colwill, as I've just spoken about with Levi Colwill. He was a great partner for him last season until he got injured. So in my opinion, I do think we need to keep giving Wesley Fofana that chance, and so therefore he goes in to the squad player category. And now moving into the next centre-back, Benoit Badiashile. Apparently, Todd Bowley went to France in a Lamborghini to bring back a centre-back, Benoit Badiashile. But what did he actually bring back for us? A centre-back that is incompetent, that can't defend, that can't pass a ball, that can't header a ball. When we first bought him, he looked promising. He looked fantastic in his debut against Crystal Palace back in 2023. And so, therefore, we have to say, oh yeah, he's had that good period. But then he's just, after injuries and timeout and not being the first choice, he's just not really shown us that quality. So, therefore, I think he needs to go in the get-gone slot in this tier list. And now we move on to the final centre-back, Tosin Adarabioyo. Brought him from Fulham. Had a first season of promise and he looked good. In the final few games of the season, he really stood up and was counted for. And he looked like a leader. Everyone calls him Unks in the dressing room, apparently. But is he really that good? He lacks the ability as a high quality Chelsea player. He's a solid defender for a lower Premier League side, but not for a Chelsea side. And so in my opinion, he needs to go in the get gone category. But thank you for your service, Tosin Adarabioyo. So now let's move on into the full back positions. Let's take a look at the first player, Malo Gusto. Now, Malo Gusto came in from Lyon on a big transfer fee and he's looked okay at times, but he's also had some brilliant games. And he's been a mixed bag, if I'm honest, but I do think he suits the system Liam Rosenior is trying to play at Chelsea, and I do think he's the type of player that can be a squad rotational player. He can play right back, he can play left back, he can invert if you want him to, he can get up and down the pitch, and he looks good when he does so. Against Paris Saint-Germain last night when he scored that goal, he looked good. So therefore I think he goes into the squad player category. Now let's move into probably the best right back in the Premier League, if not the world, Reece James, the captain of Chelsea Football Club. If he's 70% fit, he starts. His technical level is so high. Liam Rosenior and Enzo Maresca have even resorted to using him as a 6. So that just tells you the level of ability that this guy has. And when he's 100% fit, he makes every right back in the world look poor. He makes Trent look poor. He makes all these other right backs look poor. And so therefore he has to stay and be in the build around category. And now let's get into the final fullback in this squad, Joel Hatto. This player has come in, he had a nervy start to life at Chelsea Football Club, but over the last few games he's really shown what he's capable of since Marco Correa was out injured. He can play as a left back, he can play as a centre back, he can play as a 6, so therefore he needs to stay and he needs to be put in as a squad player in the squad player category, and I hope he can continue his development at Chelsea Football Club and we will see the best out of him. Okay, so now let's move into the main engine room of the team, the midfielders. Let's talk about these individually, starting with Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo is an elite defensive midfielder. He can play as that 6, as a single 6 or a double 6, or he can even play as a box-to-box 8 if you really wanted him to. He has that kind of ability, and so therefore he needs to go in the build around category, and we need to build the midfield around him. And now let's move into the next midfielder, Enzo Fernandez, the number 8 for Chelsea, who we signed for 105 million. Has not quite lived up to the hype. Has not quite lived up to that hype just yet, but I still think he's got the ability to do so. Enzo Fernandez can play as a 6, as an 8, as a 10. He could be a box crashing midfielder. He can probably play on the left hand side. He's got that kind of ability, that creative outlet about him, and so therefore I do think he should be in the build around category, and we could continue to build around him and Caicedo in that midfield. Okay, so let's move on to the next midfielder now, Romeo Lavia, the guy we brought from Southampton who Liverpool thought they had got, but they didn't. Let's talk about Romeo Lavia because he's a great player. There is a great player in there. He's got ability. He can turn on he can go on the half turn. He's got that ability to drive past players. He's got that ability to create play and to get involved in that midfield battle. But injuries have hampered him. Injuries have really hampered his ability to grow and develop at Chelsea Football Club. And as much as I think he could continue to grow and develop, I do think there is a question mark over his head of whether he is able to continue at Chelsea Football Club if the injuries persist. But what I would do, in my opinion, is give him a loan. Give him a loan for a season to a mid-table Premier League club. See how he gets on. See if he can get 30 games under his belt consistently without injuries. And then we can consider bringing him back into the fold. So he goes into the need a loan category. Okay, now so let's talk about our next midfielder, Andre Santos, the Brazilian wonder kid who spent a couple of years out at Strasbourg on loan. Now, his development has come on very well. He's now starting to get into the team since Liam Rosinha has come in as the Chelsea head coach, and he's developed well. He's looked good. He's got ability on the ball. He can make a tackle. He can drive forward with the ball. He can create. So he's got that ability. Do I think he's worthy of a build around player? Not quite. Not quite yet. Maybe in 3 to 4 years. But I do see him as a valuable squad player, so he does go into the squad player category for me. Now our 5th and final defender, Dario Isugo. Now, we haven't seen much of Dario Isugo. An injury has hampered him this season, but when he has played, he's looked a beast. He's looked like a mini Caicedo, and I do think he's got that ability to be that kind of Caicedo player. But where does he fit into this current system? Where does he fit to in which category? Because we've got, as I said, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos. Could he be that option again as a squad player? Potentially. But maybe he needs a loan. Maybe he needs to go out on loan, develop a bit more, and then we can bring him back and we can see what he can do at Chelsea Football Club. So in my opinion, he goes into the need a loan category. And now we move on into the attacking midfielders. These players are the magic at Chelsea Football Club. So let's go through each of them now and we will discuss them. Let's start off with Estevão Willian. Now, Estevão Willian came in from Palmeiras as a highly rated wonder kid from Brazil and has already gone into the first team with the Brazilian national team. So let's look at him. He's quick, energy, he's direct, he's skillful, he likes to take his man on, he likes to cut inside, but he can also go on the outside as well. He's good with his left foot, he's good with his right foot, and so, you know, looking at him as that player, that technically gifted wonder kid, I do think he's someone we need to build around. So in my opinion, he goes in to the build around category. And now moving on into the star player of this team, Cole Palmer. Now, Cole Palmer has had a difficult season this season. A groin injury has hampered him. He's not been able to get into the squad as much. He's not played as well as he did last season or the season before. And do you know what? Cole Palmer is still at the very best level. I do think he can find that top gear again for himself and this club, and I do think he can still be one of the best number 10s or right wingers in the world, and I do think we need to continue to build around him and get him fit and flying again. So he goes in to the build around category. And guys, as I've mentioned before, if you are enjoying my tier list ranking video, then please make sure you leave a like, you drop your thoughts on my tier list in the comments, and who would you put elsewhere in this tier list? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, subscribe to the channel. We are 7 subscribers away from that magic 1,000, so let's make it happen by the end of this video. Okay, and now moving on to the next winger slash number 10, Pedro Neto. Now, where does he fit? What does he bring to this club? He's got pace, he's got energy, he can shoot, he can cross, but lately he has just been stagnant. He has plateaued. He's not got any better than what he was last season. So there are questions over his head of what he does for this club and where does he fit in this squad. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think it's worth selling him right now. I still think there's a real player in there once we get past this stagnant plateau moment of his, and so I do think he goes in to the squad player category. And now moving on into the next winger, Jamie Bino Gittins. Now, what does he bring to the club? He brings pace, skill, creativity, a low centre of gravity to take on players, go past players, cut inside, cut on the outside, cross the ball. But we haven't seen any of that this season. We have not seen anything from Jamie Bino Gittins this season. We've seen flashes, and do you know what? I don't want him to be that type of player that is a flash in the pan moment for Chelsea Football Club, and so therefore I do think he needs a loan to get some momentum and come back to the squad, and then we can reassess him. So Jamie Bino Gittins goes into the loan category. And there's one more winger we do need to talk about. Alejandro Garnacho hasn't had the best start to life at Chelsea Football Club, didn't have the best time at Manchester United. He's been, you know, thrown under the bus a couple of times, and he can perform. When he's at his best, he's insane, but he needs more time. And I do think he will be a good squad player for Chelsea. So into the squad player category he goes. Okay, so now moving into the final position for this tier list, the strikers. Let's talk about these 3 players. Starting off with Liam Delap. Brought in for £30 million last season from Ipswich Town, where he scored 12 goals in one season. That's great for a low team, Premier League team, but it's not good enough for Chelsea standard. He's not really shown the quality that we expected of him at Chelsea Football Club. And to be honest, I do think there is a player in there. You just need to find him. So in my opinion, I think he needs to go out on a loan and see how he does at a lower level Premier League team. So into the loan category he goes. Now talk about the next striker, Mark Yu. Mark Yu, tenacious, brave, quick, press resistant. He loves to press himself. So let's look at him. I think he needs time to develop. I think he needs a lower Premier League club loan to go out and prove to himself that he can play 20-30 games a season and score 10 to 15 goals a season, and then we can come back and we can have a look at him. So in my opinion, Mark Yu needs a loan, so he goes into the loan category. So let's talk about the final player in this tier list, our number 20, Joao Pedro. What a season he has had, from that goal in the two goals in the semi-final of the Club World Cup, to the goal in the final of the Club World Cup, to the goals he scored this season. He's a different player under Leo Rosenior again, and he was good under Enzo Maresca, and I do think he's really starting to find his feet at Chelsea Football Club now, and I do think he could become one of the best strikers, if not the best striker in the Premier League. But so he goes into the build around category, in my opinion. So guys, that completes my Chelsea 25-26 squad tier list. Let me know exactly your thoughts in the comments. Where would you put certain players, and would you change any players in your opinion, and where would they go? Also guys, don't forget to smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. We are 7 away, so let's make it happen. 1,000 subscribers tonight if possible. And guys, I will see you tomorrow for another video. Take care.